Hello everyone, welcome to Magma India. Today we are going to install Free5GC using the AMCOP. So in the last video we have installed AMCOP using the quick start guide provided by the ANA network. So let's start with the user guide. So we have our user guide. So we can move to the 82 page, which will give us the short description about the installation of Free5GC. So we are at the Appendix A, Free5GC GNB simulator installation. So in this page you will find the downloading link of a file. You need to download this file locally on your system. So I have already downloaded this file here. So let's extract it. So we have our file here. Let's open it on a VS Code. According to the documents, we have to run create QEM VM script to create a VM inside a VM. So I'm not going to run this file because I'm going to give my own VM to it. So if I move to the another step, we need to run this Free5GC pre-request script, and in this file we have to give the part of the network CRD dev file. So let's see this file. So this file is going to download a basic installation for the Docker, Kubernetes, Weave, Helm and Go. For running this script, we have to change the name of our adapter from ENS3 to ETH0. Because as per the documentation, if we're going to create a VM using their file create QEM file, it's going to create a VM using the ENS3. But my VM is going to be ETH0. Let me show you. This is my VM and my VM is ETH0. So let's replace ENS3 to ETH0. Save it. So similarly, the files present here have ENS3 value with them. So we are going to change both the files from ENS3 to ETH0. So let's extract both the files. So now every word with the ENS is changed to ETH0. So now we have to repack it. Okay guys, always remember this, like if I open this file, I'll get a folder here, but if I open profile file, I'll get a files here. So you have to compress it with the same format. So I'll first come here, open a terminal, and one thing more, we have to keep this extension tgz and here .tar.gz. So here you can put any name, but folder name just keep it in mind because this name we are going to give same exactly to the service. So I'm going to give the same name. So now we have a file. Similarly with the profile. we have our profile file also. So we can delete both the files here, and we are going to use these files. Let's compress this also and send it to our server. So we have a file here. Okay, we have to extract it with this. So yes, we have a file here. So okay, before proceeding, we have to give the path of our network saved file. So this is going to be the variable. Okay, we have here. So yes, we can now initiate the installation of this script. We're going to get heat 0. So this script will take around 5 to 7 minutes. So we have to wait here. As the installation is going on, let me explain you the file structure. Here we have given us two files. One is Free5GC Helm charts and another is profile. Profile is nothing, just a override values for the Helm chart here. So when we are going to create a service in AMCOP, it will going to ask us two files. One is this tgz file and another is tar.gz file. To get the better understanding of AMCOP, so let me create my own Helm chart. So Helm create my chart. So now we have our standard Helm's file. So these are the standard files which gets created when we run Helm create. So charts.yaml file, it's an outline for the Helm chart structure. Template directory holds all the configuration for your application that will deploy into the cluster. And inside that template we have the test. It is going to test the connection into the app. And charts, currently it is empty, So it will allow us to add the dependencies charts that are needed to deploy your application. And here is the value file. It is the main file that we are going to edit it. So let's open it. So first we have our replica account. So we are going to create a one port, so we're not going to change this. Next we have our image. We have our nginx image, and here we can place always. You can place always here, or you can just put as it is here. If it is not present, then it's going to pull this image nginx, but I'm going to change it with always, that whenever I run this Helm, it's going to download my nginx with the latest pull. And here we can like change the name from my chart to anything. So I'm going to give another name. It's Rohit chart, and full name Rohit chart full. So next we have our service account. So here I'm going to give Rohit service. So we're not going to change anything here. We're not going to change anything here. Security contacts, we're not going to change. Service, okay. This file we are not going to put node port now. We're going to change it with the profile file which I'm going to create it. So this I'm leaving it now. And we can change this thing. We can like provide the CPU and the memory to our service, to our ports. Auto scaling, we're not going to change anything. So let's save it. Okay, so now we are going to compress it. I'm going to keep it as a tgz main file. Okay, and we're going to create a profile here. So I already have the files, so I'll show you what are these files. So first we have the manifest file. So here we don't have to change anything, and these are the override files. In override files, I have already declared to go to the service tag and change the type from cluster IP to node port. So here that I showed you. So this is going to change from the profile file. So let's compress this also. So we have our files, my charts and profile file. Let's go to AMCOP, and for this I have already created a test server. Let me log in it to it. So currently I have installed Kubernetes. I have already installed Kubernetes on it. So these are my pods currently running. So using the AMCOP, I'm going to deploy my Helm chart. So first we have to register the cloud here. To register cloud, I need a file, a kubeconfig file. So copy it. Let's connect our cluster. First we're going to register a cloud here. So test cloud. Add test native cluster here. Yes, it is successfully added. So controllers we have already there, now tenant. Create a service here. So here we have to be careful, like we have to give my charts here. So my chart, this thing is important as folder name is my chart. So I'm going to add my chart, give 2 files now. And the profile file. Submit. Now create an instance. Let's keep test deployment version v1. Deploy test service, select version, next. Now select our test Kubernetes cluster, submit and initiate. So now service is initiated. Let's check our 112 server. So now container is creating and this is test connection. So we can ignore this test connection. So as you can check, it is node port is allocated here. So let's put IP here. 121 server, and I guess the port is so yes, our Nginx is accessible. Port is running. So this is the same concept, we're going to use it with Free5GC. We have Free5GC here, Helm chart, and say profile the override values. So let's check our command. Okay, I guess it is done now. And another step is to check the ports. Okay, we have ports running. So next step is to load the Free5GC and the profile file to the AMCOP and initiate the deployment. So we need to go to here, and I guess now we know the concept now, how to load the file. So we directly go here. First we need 118 the server cluster file. So this is a 118 server. Okay, so we need cluster file. So we have our cluster file. Let's connect it. Yes, it is submitted now. Let's create a tenant. Create the service now. So now here we have to put exact same name that is present on a folder. So this is my name. So I uploaded both the files. Click on submit. Yes, service created. Now create the deployment instance. Next, now select the cluster, submit and initiate. So let's check the ports now. Okay, now ports are creating. While the images are loading, let me explain you few components of 5G network like AMF, PCF, UDM, UPF. These are the main components of 5G network. So let me find a diagram for you. 5G network, AMF, SMF. So I guess this one is good. Okay, so now let's assume that this is our device and this is our network. These we can call it as a G node Bs. Okay, and our mobile want to access our data network. So the first service which come to action is AMF. AMF stands for access and mobility function. So access is, as the word says, access. It's going to authenticate, kind of a registration. So suppose my mobile is in Delhi and my nearby a tower is this, so it's going to recognize me as in Delhi and it's going to authenticate me. Okay, it's going to take data from the UDM that is a user data manager. It's a kind of a manager to our user profile. It's have all our data. So AMF take the data from UDM and authenticate us that this device is registered with us. And mobility, we say that if our mobile moves from Delhi to Punjab, so AMF keeps the tracking of the mobile. So once we are authenticated it it will instruct SMF to take action. So the SMF is session manager function. So the work of the SMF is it will behave as a manager, because like it will take the data from the PCF and the UDM to create a PDU session. So actually the data from our device to our data networks, this workflow is known as PDU session. So SMF is going to instruct UPF to create a PDU session, to remove it, and to when to modify it. Actually PDU session is created by UPF, but instructions to create, modify and to remove it is given by SMF. So SMF is going to take the data from UDM, that like I am a Rohit, and what kind of services do I need to provide to him. Okay, and it's going to take data from PCF, that what kind of resources, how much resources, what quality of services do I need to implement. So these all instruction will be taken by SMF and will be transferred to UPF. And UPF, I have told you, it's like a user plane function. It's going to actually creation of PDU session between the data network and the mobile device. It's going to take place by UPF. UPF is also responsible for IP addressing and for steering the traffic. Suppose my device moved from Delhi to Punjab, so AMF will locate that device is moved. So according to the UPF, it will maintain the PDU session that is created between the device and the data network. So it will do the steering of the traffic accordingly. So you can see all the services here like UPF, UDM, PCF, SMF. So these are the main components that is going to take in action. So let's wait for the ports creation, then we'll proceed further. Are created now. Let's get the port number for web UI to access it. So kubectl get svc-a. So the port number for web UI is 30415. Let's access it on a browser. Let's put the IP of our VM followed by port number. So yes, we can access our Free5GC portal now, and just put the username and password. So your username is admin, password is Free5GC, enter, and now we can access the subscriber portal. So team, we are done with the Free5GC installation part. Thank you so much.